Thank you very much. The Chief Justice, the Chairperson of NCAJ, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, Mheshimiwa Murkomen, the Honorable Attorney General, the Chief Registrar of Judiciary, the Principal Secretary, Department of Correctional Services, Development Partners, the President of RSK, the Commissioner General of Prisons. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am delighted and honored to be present on this momentous occasion as we launch both the Administration of Justice in Kenya Annual Report 2024-25 and the Monitoring, Evaluation and Learning Guiding Framework for Kenya's justice sector. In this regard, I thank the Honorable Mother Koome, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the Chairperson of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, for taking the lead in convening us for this important event. These bifoto documents are a reflection of our collective strength, attributable to the collaborative and consultative approaches adopted across the justice sector, which has contributed to a more efficient and effective delivery of justice. They provide an invariable evidence-based foundation upon which we can build a more robust, efficient, and humane justice system. As a key member of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, the National Police Service is usually one of the first points of contact for many individuals with formal criminal justice system. This frontline position confers upon us a sacred duty to uphold the rule of law with integrity, to protect the rights of every individual, and to conduct our investigations with a professionalism that can withstand the most rigorous legal scrutiny. Towards this end, I reiterate our commitment to enhancing measures to fight corruption, strengthen accountability, and ensure seamless service delivery. Pursuant to our vision of becoming a professional, efficient, and responsive police service, we are committed to building a service that provides effective, people-centric, and accountable policing to foster safe and prosperous society. Furthermore, the National Police Service remains fully cognizant of the significant constitutional obligations and responsibilities bestowed upon all the justice sector actors, and shall not shy away from joining you all in giving our utmost to ensure there is transparent, accountable, and impactful service to the people and all those that daily seek answers, interventions, and feedbacks from us. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, equally, it is not lost on us as a service that successful prosecution hinges on the quality of investigations. Each investigation presents an intricate puzzle, often requiring a combination of specialized tools, knowledge, and experience to piece together evidence together. From financial fraud, cyber threats, to terrorism and other serious crimes, it is clear that collaboration is key to successful outcome. The National Police Service remains keen to tap into this opportunity and will continue to focus on deepening interagency collaboration, leveraging technology and improving our handling of vulnerable groups. This includes enhancing our capacity to manage cases involving sexual and gender-based violence, children in conflict with the law, and persons with disabilities, ensuring they receive the specialized and sensitive treatment they deserve. In addition, the National Police Service has embraced community-centered policing, recognizing that the most effective intelligence and the only truly sustainable safety and security stems from collaborative public partnerships. Our strategy is to rededicate ourselves to building this trust from the grassroots upwards. As I conclude, I commend the Council, the NCAJ studying and working committees, the Secretariat, and the entire team that has worked tirelessly to compile the annual report and the framework we launch here today. I reiterate our steadfast commitment to working closely with all of you to foster a more coordinated, transparent, and people-centered justice system for the public good. I thank you all. Asanteni sana. Asante.
Thank you, IG, for reiterating your commitment to ensuring that we have a responsive police service, people-centric, public policing, and impactful service. Those were wonderful remarks. Our next presentation and particularly the JLAC committee, represented by Honorable Steve Mogaka, to thank the committee for your commitment in ensuring that justice-related legislation keeps pace with our constitutional ideals and reform, because we know that lawmaking is the oxygen of justice delivery. Karibu sana, Honorable Steve Mogaka, to make your address on the topic of fast-tracking pending legislations in criminal and civil justice system by JLAC. Karibu sana.
Good morning, good people. Thank you. Lady Justice Martha Koome, our President of the Supreme Court and Chairperson of the NCAJ, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Sholei, Waziri, my learned friend Kipchumba Murkomen, the biggest law firm, the Honorable the Attorney General, Madam Dorcas Oduor, the DPP, the CRJ, and if you can permit me to ride on all the protocols laid before me, permit me to make these remarks on behalf of the Chair of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the 13th Parliament, Honorable George Gitonga Murugara, who salutes you and assures you of our very best support in our endeavor to achieve our objectives. And he says, Chairman, I am glad to address you today as we reflect on the impact of legislation as a transformative instrument for justice. Allow me to begin by conveying the well wishes of the Honorable George Murugara, MP, Chairperson of JLAC, on behalf of whom I shall be making these remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee remains committed towards advancing legal reforms that align our criminal and civil justice system with the Constitution of Kenya, human rights standards, and the evolving needs of our society. Enhancing the administration of justice in Kenya remains very crucial. Over the last decade, the NCAJ and its working committees have driven major reforms through collaboration and innovation. Notably, to fully realize these reforms, the committee endeavors to ensure that progressive laws developed through multi-agency efforts are fast-tracked for timely enactment. Among the key legislative priorities before the Committee of Justice and Legal Affairs are the Penal Code Amendment Bill and the Criminal Procedure Code Amendment Bill developed under the leadership of the National Committee on Criminal Justice Reforms. These bills represent some of the most comprehensive reforms to Kenya's criminal justice system since independence. They seek to modernize the law, remove colonial relics, discriminate poverty, and ensure that justice processes are fair, efficient, and constitutionally compliant, as well as timely. The proposed amendments are far-reaching. They aim at decriminalizing and reclassify petty offenses, which currently account for over 70% of the cases processed through our courts. These minor offenses overburden and clog our system, waste prosecutorial and judicial time, and lead to unnecessary congestion in our prisons. By decriminalizing these archaic laws, we will fast-track the wheels of justice so that justice is not as delayed as is currently experienced. The reforms also propose to cascade offenses such as murder and robbery into degrees, ensuring proportional sentencing. This will replace the outdated one size fits all approach with a more rational and a more justice-oriented framework that upholds both deterrence as well as rehabilitation. And Honorable Ngenya Jeye, we really celebrate you in spearheading this. Importantly, the bills are also the bills also define life imprisonment. They define life imprisonment, abolish the mandatory death penalty, and shift the burden of proof for incitement and disobedience back to the prosecution rather than to the accused, and thereby reinforcing the presumption of innocence as enshrined in our great Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, for vulnerable persons, children, persons with disabilities, intersex persons, and those with mental illness, the proposed amendments provide stronger protection, dignity, and equality before the law by repealing derogatory terms and embedding safeguards for fair treatment. The legislation brings Kenya's justice system closer to those of international standards where this country actually belongs. Ladies and gentlemen, the Criminal Procedure Code amendments further seek to modernize procedures, ensuring consistency with the Magistrates Courts Act, aligning bail provisions with Article 49 Article 49(1)H of the Constitution, and then establishing a criminal procedure rules committee to guide uniformity in criminal procedures and innovation being enhanced. The impact of these reforms will be profound. They will reduce prison overcrowding, curb corruption linked to the enforcement of vague offenses, promote restorative justice, and improve Kenya's global human rights standing. Most importantly, they will make justice more humane and accessible to all, regardless of status or circumstances. In similar vein, the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee is also seized of other crucial bills, such as the Penal Code Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by the Honorable Anthony Tomoluoch, MP. Sorry, lost his father the other day. The bill, which was read at a first time in the House on 4th June 2025, seeks to amend the Penal Code to repeal Section 226, which provides for the offense of attempted suicide. This amendment is in tandem with the High Court's finding to decriminalize suicide. Finally, and in closing, I reaffirm JLAC's commitment to ensuring that every law governing justice serves the people it is meant to protect. The committee will endeavor to fast-track justice sector reforms for the good of the nation, the efficiency of our institutions, and the dignity of every Kenyan. And on off-the-cuff remarks that I had here about the disparity and inadequacy of the budget, we all make this budget together, Kenyans, and we want to plead with you that when we start the journey of budget making, all of us ask for what we want, and then you send us Parliament to go and source that money, some from our pay slips, some from elsewhere. Don't forsake us, good Kenyans, when it comes to that. And then very finally, we want to thank the president of the LSK in absentia, I think she has left, for those great remarks, and you are all invited. And one more time, thank you so much for giving us the invitation, and we will work together in this journey, and together we will make Kenya greater than it is. God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Steve Mogaka, for the great insights on the proposed legislative reforms and your commitment to fast-track justice sector reforms in order to promote restorative justice. Our next discussion focuses on a key component of the justice chain, that is correctional services. The effectiveness of the justice system does not end at conviction or sentencing. It extends to how we rehabilitate, reintegrate, and restore individuals back to society. And to share insights on emerging issues in correctional reforms for effective justice delivery, I'm honored to invite Dr. Salome Biako, the PS State Department for Correctional Services. Karibu sana, Dr. Salome. Kindly let us applaud as she comes to the front.
Honorable Martha Koome, Chief Justice and Chairperson of the National Council on Administration of Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration, and also my Minister. Honorable Dorcas Odwor, Senior Counsel, the Honorable Attorney General, Honorable Gladys Sholay, Deputy Speaker, National Assembly, Honorable Members of Parliament present, all judges present, Mr. Douglas Kanja, the IG of Police, Mr. Patrick Karandu, Commissioner General of Prisons, all diplomatic corps. Allow me to ride on the protocols already established. Firstly, Madam CJ, I wish to congratulate you and the entire NCAJ Council and Fraternity on this auspicious occasion of the launch of the annual report 2024, the NCAJ annual report, as well as the male guiding framework. Indeed, it is a great occasion, and we as Correctional Services, the State Department, are very privileged to be present here. The State Department for Correctional Service, a key player within the National Council on Administration of Justice and of the criminal justice system in Kenya, takes due cognizance of the internal and external environments in the correctional space. Indeed, for several decades, the global criminal justice system was characterized by a focus on punishment that reflected on societal attitudes towards offenders until the last 2 decades, when attention was shifted to a correctional orientation with stress on evidence-based rehabilitation. This was because despite the tough policies and practices, there was still persistent overcrowding, increased recidivism along diverse offense and offender types. Madam CJ, the State Department for Correctional Service, which comprises 2 technical units, namely the Kenya Prison Service and the Probation and Aftercare Service, in its transformative strategy, has adopted a 2-pronged approach to mitigate and address emerging issues for effective service delivery. This proactive approach has placed emphasis on both the practitioners or staff and offenders, and engages all senior staff, station managers, and all other sector players to play the lead transformation process with knowledge and skills that embraces rehabilitation, human dignity, and reintegration as envisioned under the Constitution of Kenya 2010, as well as the international human rights instruments. The reform agenda in the State Department for Correctional Services is governed by 8 key priority areas. Number 1, administrative, legal, and policy framework and support. The State Department, through the Technical Committee on Development of Legal and Policy Framework that was constituted through a Gazette notice dated 30th of April 2024 by the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, embarked on examining the existing policies and legislation on both the policy and correctional service, and developed the Kenya Correctional Service Bill as well as the Correctional Service Policy, and both drafts have now been signed off by the Attorney General, and we sincerely thank her for the effort, and we are still processing. The second key priority area was revitalization of the prison farms, and the State Department embarked on increasing the acreage under agriculture and livestock production to increase, and also increase in capital for seed production, appropriate training, irrigation schemes, and post-harvesting storage using a multi-sectoral approach of other state departments. And in this regard, Madam CJ, I'm happy to report we have really increased our production as well as vocational training to our inmates in order to reduce recidivism. The third strategy was modernization of the prison industry, and in this regard, we have embarked on revamping our entire 108 workshops in order to improve the quality of products that we produce in carpentry as well as metallurgy. And in conjunction with our stakeholders like Manu Chandaria Foundation, we have increased the number of workshops, particularly in the textile and Karakana workshop, And in this regard, we want to sincerely thank the First Lady, who has been instrumental in supporting us in increasing those workshops. The fourth strategy has been in social protection, and the State Department has advocated use of community corrections to uphold use of non-custodial sentences. And in this regard, we want to thank sincerely the Japanese International Agency, which has enabled us commence something that we call community probation volunteers by use of community leaders, opinion leaders, to help us reintegrate offenders that have been released and to help them reduce recidivism, and it has been very productive. To date, we have trained over 600 community probation volunteers, and we hope that this program will be cascaded to the entire country. The fifth approach is through educational and vocational training coordination, particularly through use of our stakeholders, the TVETs like Kiambu, National Kenya Polytechnic, and other polytechnics, to be able to give our offenders who have been going through training the prior certificates of prior learning, so that once they have been released, they can be able to get jobs and they can be incorporated into the job market, and this will be instrumental in reducing recidivism. The sixth approach is institutional infrastructure and operational capacity. And in this regard, the State Department has embarked on reintegration of offender record management and case management systems. Digitization has become a cornerstone of contemporary correctional reform, and the State Department is progressively working towards deploying digital offender management system designed to integrate offender data with the judiciary's e-filing system and other justice sector databases. This innovation will enhance information sharing, case management, and timely decision-making across the institutions. And in this regard, we sincerely thank the World Bank, which has onboarded us into this program. The other approach is environmental and climate change mitigation, and in this regard, the State Department has not been left behind. In fact, it has been in the forefront of growing 100 million trees countrywide. To date, Madam CJ and Chair, we have managed to increase our tree coverage within our correctional institutions to the tune of about 30%, and we are intending to increase this so as to meet the presidential target of 15 billion trees across the country by 2032, by giving our annual contribution of 100, growing our annual target of seedlings of 100 million. We have created and increased our orchards and equally improved our work environment through landscaping, beautification, and now in this year, we are undertaking a movement from the dirty energy to clean energy through solar and LPG, as well as biogas. It is noteworthy that every first Thursday of the month is now dedicated to tree planting countrywide in all our correctional facilities. In conclusion, Madam Chair, these transformative approaches have inculcated a culture that celebrates excellence within our correctional facilities to celebrate our staff, and it is called Correctional Service Week. And this year we were very pleased and privileged to have our own Minister Murkomen be our guest honor in the Service Awards, and it is a platform where officers are motivated to competitively under management, guided by selected annual themes. In conclusion, we must say that this is a testament that the State Department for Correctional Services is on track with a clear roadmap on reforms for service efficiency. Correctional reform is thus both a legal obligation and a moral imperative grounded on the rule of law and principles of restorative justice. I thank you, and may God bless us, and may God bless Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.